Welcome back, Patriots. I am your host, Untitled 82. And, there's a couple of interesting things to cover. Again, I'm just winging it off the top of my head. I kind of have an idea of what I want to cover. But, with me, it's totally random. I never do my notes. It's very unprofessional. But you know what? Who cares, right? As long as I'm bringing you true information and not just some baloney shit that the mainstream media brings to you. Alright? So, I'm going to go... This was a very interesting... Well, let's just dive in and check it out. So here we go. We got radical Democrat Representative Ilhan Omar calls for the dismantling of U.S. economy and political systems. Have you lost your gosh darn mind, you... Well, there's a video. Let's take a look. So, the crazed Marxist lawmaker called for capitalism to be destroyed in the name of social justice. Yeah, well, if you don't freaking like it here, why don't you go back to where you came from? Huh? She married her brother. She committed immigration fraud. Y'all know that, right? That's a fact. You can look it up. As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without consideration who is proliferating, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate an equality so we can not stop at the criminal justice system. What is she talking about? We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression? Who's being oppressed? Nobody. If you're an outstanding American citizen, you go to work, you're not committing any crimes, follow the rule of law, you're not being oppressed. Okay, I guess we got video. Hopefully it freaking loads on me, because it never loads on Brave. Oh, cool, it did.
Our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out. We will perpetuate this inequality. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it. As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit.
Alright, so yeah, there it is. In her own words. Crazy, 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 crazy. Let's see what else we got. Wikipedia page for Kamala Harris getting scrubbed to remove potentially damaging information? What? What does she have to hide? We all know that she's a homewrecker. She slept with that governor to climb up the political ranks, you know? But yeah, let's check it out. Everyone knows Kamala Harris is on the short list to be Joe Biden's running mate. Now something's happening which suggests she might be the final choice. Really? Homewrecker Harris? Sleeping with a married governor? Might as well be the female version of Clinton, you know? Bill Clinton. Slick Willie. Alright, so her Wikipedia page is apparently being heavily scrubbed for anything that could potentially be used against her. Breitbart reports. You know what? I should go to Breitbart instead. I mean, but Gateway Pundit is a very good site. Always putting out truth and not putting like fake news and stuff out there, you know? Wikipedia editors sanitize the page of potential Biden VP homewrecker Harris. An article in the Intercept last week reported that a Wikipedia editor was scrubbing the page of former Democratic presidential candidate Senator homewrecker Harris, District California, or Democrat, whatever, considered a prominent member of the shortlist to be on Biden's vice presidential pick. The piece mentioned changes such as removing a past campaign finance scandal and Harris's record as a hardline prosecutor. Changes not mentioned include removals of the alleged role nepotism played in her early political career and significant favorable additions about Harris. See, how come they won't mention that she was sleeping with this governor guy? I think he was a governor or some political person that just helped her career out. Does this mean Joe Biden is getting ready to name her as his VP choice? Don Bongino has a story. I guess we can check it out. Okay. Reporting. Alright, there's nothing much here. I mean, well, if y'all want to go, just damn Bongino. Bongino.com. Y'all can read it for yourself. I'm not going to go through the whole article. Chief Justice John Roberts hospitalized last month after fall. Wasn't he? His name appeared on the Epstein flight logs. Oh yeah, what kind of fall did you have, Roberts? Huh? The Supreme Court belatedly disclosed Tuesday night that Chief Justice John Roberts, 65, fell and was hospitalized. Man, I can't say certain words. I'm sorry. I just... Anywho, overnight last month, a seizure was ruled out by doctors with The fall being blamed on, excuse me, dehydration and Robert's injury to his forehead from the fall needing sutures. I don't know if that's a typo. I just don't know that word. I've never seen this word before. Or unless I'm just stupid. Not a professional, folks. Not a professional. No, I'm just winging this. I just start recording and just go with whatever happens. I don't care if I blooper or if I... whatever. Who cares? According to a Supreme Court spokesman, Roberts fell from a seizure, and so I guess he's epileptic. Okay. He also fell in 93 because of that. Probably had a seizure once he found out that Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, and now it's said that she has like all the info. She has like backups of everything what Epstein had, and that Epstein was probably just a puppet. That Ghislaine Maxwell is the real, Epstein was just small potatoes. He was a puppet, and that Ghislaine Maxwell, she was probably the real, person behind the whole thing. Father was ex-Mossad, or he was like a leader. You can look it up. You can just do that research on your own, and it's there. If you look, you can find it. I think I covered it in another video, but I don't remember. Alright, yeah, so he fell, sustained. Okay, so he had an injury to his forehead while he was exercising near his home. Okay, yeah. Whatever. We all know you're on Epstein's log. You need to go. Trump can just put another Supreme Court judge up in there and remove these deep state puppets. Ooh, okay. Duckworth is too afraid to defend her own statements. Boom. Tucker Carlson goes after coward Tammy Duckworth and Ilhan Omar. There's a video. Okay, well, right now, Tucker Carlson has the #1 rated news show. Right now, it's #1. So he's someone to watch. Yeah, Fox is still fake news. There's only like I said, a handful of people on there that are still trying to put out real good news, but they still get they can't pretty much say certain things. I'm sure they're no, okay, yeah, this is okay, you can do that, but you can't do that. But they're allowing them to be edgy than the other news outlets, like MSDNC, CNN. Yeah, nobody even watches those anymore. Who watches the mainstream media anymore? Mockingbird media at that.
to long clips from the president's recent address at Mount Rushmore. It may have been the best speech Donald Trump has ever given. It was succinct and clear, and it was true. And for all of those reasons, the Democratic Party and its many minions absolutely hated it. They denounced the speech, and this may not come as a complete surprise to you, as, quote, racist. Now, that's a slur long divorced from any actual meaning, but we should tell you that as a factual matter, it's a lie. There was nothing even conceivably racist about Trump's speech. Go watch it for yourself. There's not a racist word or idea in the whole thing. The only time Trump even brought up the Civil War was to praise Abraham Lincoln, who, thank God, won it. He never mentioned the Confederacy or anyone in the Confederacy. Instead, Trump praised unabashed American heroes like George Washington, Clara Barton, the Wright brothers, Jackie Robinson. Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois watched Trump's speech, or claimed she did. Her summary of it, quote, he spent all his time talking about dead traitors. George Washington, Clara Barton, Jackie Robinson, they are all, according to Tammy Duckworth, dead traitors. Pretty shocking. In case you think we're being unfair here, in the same interview, Senator Duckworth was asked if we should tear down statues to George Washington. Sure, she responded, let's talk about it. We played that tape for you last night, and we noted how grotesque it was. Only someone who hates the country would suggest ripping down monuments to its founder. Apparently, Tammy Duckworth saw what we said. She didn't disagree with it exactly. Instead, she questioned our right to criticize her at all, since she was once injured while serving in the Illinois Army National Guard. That's what passes for an argument in modern identity politics. They don't address the points that you make. They question your right to make them at all. The irony, of course, is that George Washington himself, the dead traitor Tammy Duckworth has such contempt for, also served in the military. Washington spent most of his adult life under arms. He fought in 2 wars. At one point, during the winter of 1777, Washington lost almost a quarter of his entire army to cold and malnutrition. So George Washington paid his dues. He was, as we might say today, a combat veteran. And by the way, Washington also created the country we live in. George Washington was a genuinely great man. But to morons like Tammy Duckworth, Washington is just some old white guy who needs to be erased. Let's tear down his statues, rename our capital city Sharpton or Mandela, and let the revolution continue. But hold on, not so fast. Changes that profound deserve a debate, not some fake national conversation where they scream commands at you and you get to obey, but a vigorous, reasoned exchange between adults. We wanted to have an exchange like that with Tammy Duckworth tonight. So we called her office and we invited her on the show. Her flack informed us that before even considering our request, we must first issue a public apology for criticizing Tammy Duckworth. In other words, I will not debate you until first you admit you're completely wrong. Keep in mind, Tammy Duckworth is not a child, at least not technically. She is a sitting United States senator who is often described as a hero. Yet Duckworth is too afraid to defend her own statements on a cable TV show. What a coward. Tammy Duckworth is also a fraud. 5 years ago, while she was a member of Congress, whistleblowers from a VA hospital in Illinois approached Duckworth to report the widespread mistreatment of sick veterans. Remember that story? The whistleblowers met with Tammy Duckworth 3 times. She refused to help them. According to a cardiologist who attended those meetings, Duckworth dismissed the systemic cruelty inflicted on dying veterans by saying that, quote, that's just how it is at the VA. The whistleblowers were horrified by her response. Ultimately, in frustration, they took their story to the media, and it became a national scandal. This is the person lecturing the rest of us about her moral authority as a veteran. Spare us. Tammy Duckworth is a callous hack who ignored the suffering of actual veterans when it actually mattered. She has no moral authority. She is just a politician like the rest of them. She works for us. This is a democracy. She has an obligation to explain herself and answer our questions. And our first question would be, how can you lead a country you despise? And that's not something we would ask only to Tammy Duckworth, by the way. Hating America is a major theme in the Democratic Party right now. It's everywhere. Turn on the TV. Here's Congresswoman Ilhan Omar just today. And if anyone should love America, it's Ilhan Omar. This country rescued her from a squalid Kenyan refugee camp and made her a national figure, quite an ascent. But Ilhan Omar is not grateful. She hates us for it. Watch Omar tell us it is time to dismantle our country.
As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who
new country. More on Tim over America.
Ever of oppression wherever we find it.
Dismantle the American economy and the American system of government, institutions that generations of Americans built over hundreds of years. Tear them down, say Ilhan Omar and Tammy Duckworth and so many others on the left. We don't like them. We hate this country. We want a new country. The problem is there are many of us here who do like this country. We live here. We don't want to destroy it. We have every right to fight to preserve our nation and our heritage and our culture. And when vandals like Tammy Duckworth and Ilhan Omar tell us that we're not allowed to question their patriotism, even as they scream about how horrible America is, we have every right to laugh in their faces. And we should.
All right, so I mean, I skipped the part of the Ilhan Omar because I showed that earlier in the video, but come on, I can see why Tucker Carlson is the number one has the number one news rated show right now, dude. Because he's telling it how it is. Like, who are these people? He said it straight up. Oh, sorry. It's easier when you guys I can just like rant and like this person right here. But you know, like he just straight up said it. She's here in the land of the free, where anything is possible. You know, you go to certain countries, you don't have certain rights. You can't do this. You can't do that. Go to China and start, you know, and start, you know, like protesting and being Christian, and you'll get thrown in jail, and that's it. Bye, Felicia. We'll never see you again, you know? She comes here, marries her brother so her brother can become a citizen, quote unquote, ill. And, you know, she becomes a public figure, right? And so other people are gonna look up to her. And whatever she says, you know, people look up to our leaders, you know? I think, you know, people are always saying, oh, if you trust government, you're still a sheep and you're still asleep. Look, I get what you're saying. But we still, what? Are you going to go and be like a governor yourself? No. It's like we still need representatives. What I'm saying is that government needs to be shrunk down. Instead of it being this big, it needs to be like just this big. JFK said it. We don't need the CIA. The FBI is still okay, but they need to be shrunk. Everything just needs to be shrunk down to where it's like maybe instead of it being right now 100% people that work in government, we don't need all these people working in government, because most of us folks, we the people, we can pretty much govern ourselves, right? But we still need those representatives, you know, at the forefront, the diplomats, you know, things like that. And it just needs to be shrunk down to like 30%. You know, if all these protesters are so mad at America, why don't they go take down the Washington Monument? That is pretty much a giant DICK, because Washington, D.C. is full of symbolism. Why don't they go tear down all of the symbols, that are just the cabal? I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, but things are definitely heating up. Um, I'm starting to see that people here in California they're pretty much getting fed up with the whole mask thing. Like, they're like, why do we need to wear these? I know I knew from the get-go that we didn't need to wear them because, I've been following this stuff, right? We pretty much already knew they were going to pull this move like a year ago. Oh no, like 2 years ago, if you follow the Q movement. Q mentioned it. Oh, what's going to happen? They're going to release some type of, virus. And this is it. When he first came out on the scene, there's going to be rioting, What are we seeing right now? Rioting. Future proves past. That's how Q works. He gives us the information that's going to happen in the future. He gave it to us way back then if you started from the beginning. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't think so. There was one more I think I wanted to go through. Like I said, I don't want to make these too long. This is already going, gosh, almost 30 minutes. Oi. It was on the Daily Mail, yeah. Mary Kay Letourneau, whatever, I can't say that, dies at 58 in hospital after battle with cancer while being cared for by her former husband, who she was convicted of raping when he was 12 years old. And she was his teacher. I don't necessarily think she raped him. She probably just seduced them, Still, whatever. That's not the story. It was a Ghislaine Maxwell story. Let me see. Okay, that's the video I just showed you all. Yeah, nobody cares about you lizards. Court is shown video of Johnny Depp smashing up kitchen and throwing a wine bottle in drunken rage at Amber Heard while he tells her, "You want to see crazy? I'll show you effing crazy." As he denies ever hating her at Blockbuster, Libel trial, whatever. Oh yeah. There was a story that, like, I think his cousin said that his dad, like, was very hard on him, and it's just like it scarred him for life. I don't know. I'll look into it, and if I find more stuff, I'll share it, but National Park Ranger shot dead an unarmed man, 25, after he stopped him from speeding. Waited 60 minutes to give him first aid and left his body in the desert overnight. What? Okay. Yeah, nobody cares. I'm done with the NFL. I'm not even watching it anymore. What? Oh, okay, yeah. Right? Oh, where is it, man? Okay, I can't see. Oh, yeah, I think there it is. There it is. Boom. Exclusive. She has copies everything Epstein had. Ghislaine Maxwell has secret stash of P words sex tapes that could implicate world's most powerful and will try to use them to save herself. Alright, this is going to be the last one. I'm just going to try to read this really quickly, and that'll be the end of it, of this video. Ghislaine Maxwell has a secret stash of Jeffrey Epstein's twisted sex tapes and will use the footage as an insurance policy to save herself, a former friend exclusively revealed to DailyMail.com. Maxwell, 58, was arrested at her hideout in Bradford, New Hampshire last Thursday. She was charged with 6 federal crimes, including enticement of minors, sex trafficking, and perjury. The British socialite was arguably Epstein's closest friend, and she is alleged to have acted as his madam, accused of securing underage girls for the multimillionaire, who reportedly kept evidence of his perverted sex acts against the minors. When officials raided Epstein's Manhattan townhouse after his arrest last July, they found thousands of graphic photos that included images of underage girls and a safe filed with compact discs labeled "nude girls." According to authorities, Maxwell's former friend explained Ghislaine has always been as cunning as they come. She wasn't going to be with Epstein all those years and not have some insurance. The secret stash of the sex tapes, I believe Ghislaine has squirreled away could end up being her get out of jail if the authorities are willing to trade. She has copies of everything Epstein had. They could implicate some twisted movers and shakers. They added, if Ghislaine goes down, she's going to take the whole damn lot of them with her. That's not if she doesn't kill herself. Alright. So I think that's it. Show a few pictures here. Doesn't he have like a weird head? Like, look at all. That's like a horse head or face. And she looks like a dude. It's just my opinion. When officials raided Epstein's Manhattan townhouse after his arrest last July, they found thousands of graphic... Okay, yeah, I just read that. The former friend continued, not only did Maxwell like to capture himself with underage girls on camera, he wanted to make sure he had something to hold over the rich and powerful men who took advantage of his sick largesse. That's a new word. What does that mean? Liberal given to as or if, an inferior, also something so given. Okay. I didn't know that. I'll bet anything that once it comes out that Ghislaine had those tapes, these men will be quaking in their Italian leather boots. Could they be referring to the red shoes? You know? Look up the red shoes, people, if you don't know about the red shoes. A lot of these, like, ow, my arm got a cramp. Ow. Sorry. But yeah, look up the red shoes if you don't know what the red shoes are. It's very disturbing, and that can be another video I guess I could do. I would have to, that one would I would have to do on the day off. Like, I would have to just like gather up some articles and some pictures, memes, and yeah, and then just do it like that. But that's for another day. And I'm probably gonna forget to do it because I'm not writing. I don't write anything down. It's like I get off of work really late, and I just kind of come on. I just start recording and pull up these websites and like what's going on. I mean, at work I read certain tweets and people like, hey, check this out, you know, and I'll cover those, you know, because I can't research. I can't be researching all day long, you know, unless these videos would probably be a little better. But yeah, anyhow, Ghislaine made sure that she socked away thumb drives of it all. She knew where all the bodies are buried, and she'll use whatever she had to save her own, her home buttocks. Stupid. The day after Epstein's suicide last August, the New York Times published an account by journalist James B. Stewart, who had interviewed Epstein in August 2018. In the course of their conversation, Epstein told Stewart he had filed away dirt on his famous house guests, some of it potentially damaging or embarrassing, including details about their supposed sexual proclivities? I don't know. And recreational drug use. Ooh, what could that drug be? Maxwell's next court appearance is on Friday in New York. She is currently being held without bail. So that will be, what is that? Alright, so what, we're on Wednesday? Well, I'm recording this. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So it is Wednesday. So 2 more days. So then either today and tomorrow is going to be like, you know, if she happens to get deleted, then we know that these people are just, that's how powerful and that's how far their reach is. Okay, well, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. like, share, subscribe. Um, if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But yeah, there you go. Ghislaine Maxwell. Friday. So we'll find out more news on Friday about her if we don't find out that she killed herself either today or tomorrow. Before she shows up in court and stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. That's it. Went longer than I thought it would. Frick, 40 minutes. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I need to be more organized so these videos can go a little faster, because I'm sure people don't like watching a 40-minute video from some doofus on YouTube. I'm not a doofus, but I'm trying, people. Like I said, I don't know like how I need to see working a full-time job. Like, I need to work on my production value. But I digress. Enough rambling. Thank you for watching. For those that do, like, share, subscribe again. And yeah, this is Untitled 82 signing out. Thank you for watching. God bless, Patriots.